while picking up my child. At school, a man came up to me and said, "Can I taste your pancakes?" "Watch it, buddy." I gripped my purse tighter, ready to swing at his head if needed. The guy raised his hands, backing away. His wedding ring caught the afternoon sun as he moved. "Geez, sorry. I just like your pancakes, lady." I lifted my purse threateningly, and he practically ran back to his minivan. What kind of creep talks about a woman's body at an elementary school pickup? I watched him fumble with his keys before driving off. My hands were still shaking from the adrenaline as I walked toward the main entrance. The school office smelled like copy paper, and that industrial cleaner they used on everything. Kids' artwork covered every wall with construction paper butterflies and handprint flowers. I grabbed the sign-out clipboard and started writing Alan's name in my messy handwriting. While I was filling out the early dismissal form, the security guard walked by and did a double take. He was an older guy who usually just nodded politely when I came in. Today he stopped and actually licked his lips. Damn, you got some fine pancakes. They're just like my ex-wife's. My pen stopped moving, the ink blob spreading across the paper as I tried to process what was happening. This was getting ridiculous. 2 different men commenting on my body within 5 minutes. I could feel my face getting hot as other parents in the office pretended not to notice. A mom signing in her sick kid gave me a sympathetic look. I turned to the secretary behind the desk trying to make light of it. Mrs. Bowman had been working here since Alan started kindergarten and always remembered every kid's birthday. Geez, it seems like everyone loves talking about my butt today. I forced a laugh, hoping to break the awkward tension. The secretary looked at me confused. She adjusted her glasses and tilted her head. "Honey, nobody's talking about your pancakes. They're talking about your food." "How? What food?" Now I was the confused one. The phone rang before she could explain. She held up a finger asking me to wait while she transferred someone to the nurse's office. I stood there replaying the conversations in my head. The man in the parking lot, the security guard. Both had said pancakes, but their tone was completely different than what I'd assumed. Before she could answer, Principal Barry walked through the office. He was usually all business in his pressed suits, but when he saw me, his face lit up like a kid at Christmas. "You must be Alan's mom. You should come over sometime and show me how you flip those pancakes." He patted his stomach and walked away humming some song I didn't recognize. The secretary was trying not to laugh at my expression. Her shoulders shook as she covered her mouth with her hand. Something weird was definitely happening, but it wasn't what I'd thought. "Mrs. Bowman, what is going on?" I asked, but she just shook her head, still fighting giggles. I signed the form with shaky hands and went to wait for Alan outside his classroom. The hallway was covered in student work about the solar system. Paper plate planets hung from the ceiling, and I had to duck around Jupiter to get to room 203. Through the door's window, I could see Alan at his desk in the back row. He was smaller than the other boys his age and still wore his dinosaur backpack, even though some kids said it was babyish. His teacher saw me and sent him out with a wave. When he came out with his backpack, I immediately asked him what was going on. "Why does everyone seem to know about the pancakes I make you for breakfast?" Alan looked down at his shoes and mumbled something I couldn't hear. His Superman sneakers had a hole starting near the toe. I made a mental note to buy new ones this weekend. I knelt down to his level, noticing he'd been crying. His eyes were red and puffy. "What did you say, honey?" I asked him to repeat it. His bottom lip trembled as fresh tears started forming. "I'm sorry, I didn't want to tell you. It's because they don't let me eat my breakfast anymore. They keep stealing my food as payback for something you did to Dad." My heart dropped. Alan's dad was my ex-husband, who also happened to be a 4th grade teacher at this school. We'd had a messy divorce last year after I caught him giving back shots to the music teacher in the key of a minor. I'd made sure everyone knew exactly why we split up, including showing up to a PTA meeting with printed screenshots of their texts. Looking back, maybe that wasn't my finest moment, but I'd been so angry. I've had enough of this. Who's stealing your food? Full story on channel, link below.